All right, how's it going, everybody? This is Ismortah, and this is episode 24 of my custom Kingdom Death Monster campaign. This being Lantern Year 8, if I recall, and this is the Showdown with a level 1 Screaming Antelope. All right, so we already have the Showdown set up. We have arrived. Now we can just begin the battle. So the trigger for the Showdown, though, was an ambush from the Screaming Antelope. So it's going to get 2 turns before our first turn. Basically, it gets a free attack. And then we start doing it by round. And the monster's always at the top of the round. So it'll get to move twice. Okay, I think we got everything that we need. The monster controller will start on Eve, and then it'll go counterclockwise. Everyone's got the strength tokens. We are ready to begin. Alright, so. Again, this is the free move. So I'll mark this to show that's the free move. Alright, first up is Crush and Devour. Starting off strong, this is an A level card. Don't worry about reading it, I'll read it to you. I just want to show you, give some flavor on what the cards look like. Pick target, the closest threat in field of view in range. No one's in field of view because this is blocking line of sight. So we're not doing that one. The closest survivor in range. Nobody's in range. No target graze. So it's going to do a graze action, which is full move to the closest acanthus plant and ends its turn. Because it was stampeding this direction, and this is the closest without turning, I'm just going to have it move forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. Okay. So this gets archived. And then it would heal, but there's nothing to heal. So that was its first move. Now its next move, this beginning of the round. Chow down. If there are no acanthus plants, you discard, but there's still acanthus plants. So it's going to do a full move to the closest acanthus plant again. Because I would say it's probably this one. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, like so. It's going to chow down, consume it, heal, but there's nothing to heal. All right, so that's its move. It's eating. And now it's going to keep doing chow down because I placed this on top of the monster AI deck instead of discarding it. So it's going to keep chowing down until they're all gone. I've been really fortunate to be getting that one because it really is advantageous to clear the board of the acanthus plants early so it doesn't heal later on. Unless you're purposely gaming the system to keep a level 1 alive, just to carve it more. I mean, that's another strategy to farming it, for sure. So now it's always going to go off the closest. So, and because the closest is always going to most likely be in front, it's going to do this full circle now. So basically, we have a couple turns to come here and loot this and to get in a good position, is what we have here. Okay, so now it's our turn. Let's see if there's anything of value we can do. I could definitely have someone have Fecal Salve starting out the gate, for sure. Again, I can't use White Line Boots or White Line Helm because I don't have the completed puzzle pieces on both. Whisker Harp, we remove moods, which there are none. I could definitely do Cat Eye Circlet just to see what the first hit locations would be to get those in a good spot. And then I could even use the Rawhide before I attack, the Rawhide Headband, to swap the AI cards. That way I get rid of something else other than Showdown. Since Showdown's a relatively weak card, I give something stronger before I can do it. So I got a little bit of options. Okay, so first I need to move. Everyone's movement is 5. It took 2 turns. 1, 2. and we're going this way. So next turn, the monster controller is going to be on Emily. And let's review disorders to make sure there's anything that we have to do. No disorders, no disorders, no disorders, no disorders. Wow, that is... Oh yeah, because these guys are fresh off the boat. Because you have parents and their children, one of them being a savior. Eve doesn't have Lacerne's lantern yet, but she'll get that at age 2. And she ages twice as fast. And she does also have the ability that she can get bonus luck. That way she has a higher chance of critting. Even though her crit chance right now is on a 7, I can raise it if I want to at the cost of hunt experience. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, because when you get to higher ages, age 2, not only does she get another stat or fighting art, but then also get the ability to do this, which is a very powerful way to do luck. Meaning the monster takes automatic critical wounds on all hits, which is pretty fantastic. But the number of critical wounds... Wait a minute, let me read this correctly. Oh no, this you don't do hitting stuff at all. You just reveal hit locations, and if they have the ability to crit, you crit. Not all enemies have crit locations, and not all cards have crit locations. This is just free hits. So that's good. But it would definitely be interesting to do on this, just because you can carve. You can only get a critical hit on a place that you could critical hit. Alright, anyway. That's what we'll provide some flavor on that. I still have Red Fist, so if you use a +1 strength token, you can use it in place of survival. A couple people have that. Eve has Craze. If I get a natural lantern on the hit, she gains 1 insanity. Yeah. Okay, so everyone can move 5. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still kind of far away, but I'll go ahead and move the team forward. Is she going to do anything else? I'll go ahead and do Cat Eye Circlet as the action. So go look at the top 2 hits. Furry Throat and Restless Inner Thigh. Here's an example of what they look like. Furry Throat has a critical wound that can get a resource, and I love resources, so I'll put that on top. Okay. Boop. Alright, so now it's well, it's actually whoever's turn I want. You can do it in any order. I'll have Eve go next. Oh. These are both female, actually. I didn't realize that. Oh, I think it was different when I did it last hunt. I should use a different model. This is Samantha. But... Oh, I see. This is Eve. I see. That's Emily... Oh, and that's Adam. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Right. I'm having this look like the club because it's the biggest heavy weapon miniature that I have. Okay. Alright. So this person is... Okay, so I was Emily. This person is Samantha. So Samantha can't do anything of value other than moving. So she can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to be directly by. Okay. Adam has Fecal Salve, which he'll also do. He'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he'll activate Fecal Salve. That way he cannot be the target. He cannot... He's not a threat, and it will remove priority target if he had it. So I'm using this to mark that he has Fecal Salve. Okay, and this to mark that he took his turn. And took her turn. And lastly, we have Eve, who I can also look at the top 2 AI cards, but I don't need to swap it yet, so there's no value in doing that now. And the monster's going to be moving, wrapping around like this. So eventually, when he comes to the last one, he's going to be here. So I might as well just move this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'll stay a little bit short just because in case there's a weird card for some reason that he charges, which he shouldn't because I know exactly what's going to happen. They're not all in the same plane, is the idea. Cool. So that's it for us. Now it's the monster's turn again. Which, if it's, of course, Showdown. So the closest would be here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And move this way. Boop. Showdown. Now it's our turn again. This goes back to the top. See, so thematically, again, like he stampeded toward us because he heard us. But then we hid behind here. And he didn't see us anymore. So then he just started eating. So he got the drop on us because he heard us, but he couldn't find us, fortunately. So it's cool how the story from the hunt sort of like turns into what's happening here. So like, I try to make it thematically fit, but in this case, Adam did a good job of just how cards and situations interacted, that it's, it made sense. Especially how I set up here, so it made sense that we're stampeding, then we hid during the hunt. He heard us, and now we're coming back out. Now he's busy chomping. Okay, so now we can move. So I want us to explore this, but remember, I also don't want to lose anybody critical to winning this fight. So, and I don't want to pick this up because I had bad luck with that last time, so I'm just like, bad juju. So, I think I would rather have Emily go over there. So I'll have her just go 2 spaces to here. Okay. And then we'll take a look at this. So this is the corpse. If a survivor moves through the space occupied by this terrain, they suffer brain damage equal to the monster level. So first, she takes 1 brain damage. So she goes from 9 insanity to 8. Okay. And then we roll a d10 to see what happens. We rolled a 4. Gain 2 insanity and 1 random basic resource. Awesome. So we looted the body. So she lost 1 insanity, then she gained 2. So now she goes from 8 to 10. So she is kind of high, so that's potentially a problem. And then we get a basic resource, which is exactly what we wanted to do. So hopefully it's a hide, but anything is obviously good, because I need to be able to innovate also. A broken lantern. Well, I mean, some Mascara made use broken lanterns. So, alright. So I got a broken lantern. Put that on Emily. And that's it for her turn. Like I said, I'm not going to loot the bug because I had bad luck with that. But I am going to try to loot this as possible. Or at least get in good situations so when it loots this, the last one, we can attack. But there's kind of no point in not taking it if I can. Just because it would be an extra resource I could use for something. Alright, so now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And still nothing of value yet. I mean, I could dash and try to regenerate. I could do that, but just if I don't happen to regenerate, that's sort of a waste. That's right, it was Emily's. Next, we're going to go... who's that? Samantha. Samantha also has Boss Mindy, meaning that if she is adjacent to anybody when they attack, attack at +1 speed. So I definitely want to have it set up so that she's adjacent to like 2 people when they attack. Especially if I can like attack with the spear and then have somebody move in. Let's see, what did Slam do again? Knockback 1 and -1 toughness. Nothing else, right? Yeah, because otherwise it's with a set bonus. Okay. So she, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then he can't be doesn't count as a threat unless it just goes after somebody in her position. So I'll just have him go ahead and start bringing up the rear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And that's it for these guys. And I keep forgetting this. Like when it's monster's turn, pick this up. Like I have to touch this when it's monster's turn. Though I remember. Alright, so now Adam's gonna be the priority target. We know what the monster's gonna do. It's gonna be Showdown again. Let's go after the closest one, which is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Its movement is 6. That's barely close enough. Chow chow. Alright, now it's our turn. So if I see how its current pattern, it's going to end facing this direction. Unless I want to pick this up. But I think I would I don't know. I think it's better to get in position because I only have 2 turns to get in position. It's going to go 1 turn, 2 turn. Whereas I can go 1 turn, 2 turn. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I could go ahead and pick it up. I think I would rather kite it as close as possible, though. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Monster's turn. Now the prior target is Eve. Monster's gonna do Showdown again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now it's our turn. And I have to make sure I'm not in the path of the monster, because if the monster goes over my guys, then not only do you get collision, but you also get trample, which for some reason I don't have that out here. Let me get it out. It has trample, which means I take damage if I get hit. Yeah, I start with trample. Oops, dropping cards. Let me show you what the card looks like. Basically, to say if you ever collide with the monster, then you take damage. Not if you get bash or knock back, but whenever it collides, meaning the monster went through you, went into your space. It's not if you get knocked back, it's if you, because collision causes knockback, but it's if the monster actually went into your space. That's counts as a collide. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do this. That way, when the monster goes here, which now that I see it facing, it's probably going to go this way and turn this way. These both will have speed +1, which would be awesome. I'm going to try doing that. And then have them attack first, and then have her attack last, and swing around. So I don't want to get anywhere because I don't want to get in the... So I think I'm probably going to have him stay put. He's not the target until he attacks, so he can still do other actions and not provoke. So... I think I'm probably just going to sit. I think I'm in a good place. Still has Fecal Salve. I'm not going to swap AI cards because I want the next one to be Showdown one last time. I got Bossamendi ready. I don't want to do Frenzy Drink just yet, in case I need survival to live. So yeah, I think I'll just end my turn right there. Okay, so now it's the monster's turn again. So now the prior target would... Well, that's not a prior target. It's if Samantha gets targeted, she gets Insanity. Okay, so now we do Showdown one last time. Okay. You only discard it if there were no plants when it does the AI. So it's going to move. The easiest move is toward it. And eat. Okay. And now it's our turn. Now there's no Acanthus left. So I at least know I can't heal by going to Acanthus. Alright, so now it's our turn. So, Bossamendi says, while adjacent to you, insane survivors gain +1 speed. Everybody's insane. So both of these will get more speed, and then I could swing around and hit, and then I can also hit. If I'm going to hit from behind, I don't want to do it till last, because it's going to run this way. Whereas the other option I can do is attack from here, so if I happen to get a trap, it will run this way. Otherwise, if I trigger a trap, he's going to run this way and trample this guy. So because of that, maybe I want to move him first to here and attack, and then these two attack, and then she'll attack last. That's, I think, what I'm going to do. Okay, let's do it. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3. Or actually... I was trying to see if I have the opportunity to actually... Well, no, that's the person with the hammers. Yeah, right. He's got the hammers. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do some hammer attack. My first attack with skull cap hammers. What's cool about this attack is he can attack twice. Yeah, I'll go into it. So, but they count as two different attacks. Whereas the guitars, it's like you attacked with them together and just added the speed, but one attack. These count as two separate attacks. And what's cool is they both got attack profile of 3. So potentially I'm rolling 6 dice. All right. So we are going to attack. Lose that. So it's 3 dice, hit on 7. We got 2 hits because we got 2 8s. So we know what these hit locations are because we saw them. So we're obviously going to do the throat first, and then something happens if you wound it. So to hit, its toughness is an 8. We'll double check that. Toughness is an 8, so I have to get an 8 or better. But then the strength of the weapon is, and this only, if I get a perfect hit ever when I roll the Skullcap Hammer, the monster gets a -1 speed token until the end of its turn. And its turn is going to be next round. It's like you stun the monster is what it is. So strength is 3 plus 1 is 4. So 8 minus 4 is 4. So I have to hit on a 4 plus. 4 to hit and 9 to crit. Wait, 4 to hit, 10 to crit. 4 to hit. So we got a hit. He did 1 damage. So we know that that was Showdown that we got rid of. And then it wasn't a crit. 4 to hit, 10 to crit. We got a 9, very close, but we got a 9. So that's just 1 hit. And then it has a reaction if you wound it. The Restless Inner Thigh. Your attack disables the monster's powerful running muscles. The Screaming Antelope gains a -1 movement token. So that's cool because this is actually permanent for the rest of Showdown. So now it's going to move 1 space slower. So now it can only move 5 spaces per turn. Okay, so that was its first attack. Now I have the other attack of the weapon as well. And I'm hoping I also get a natural lantern because that way its attack profile will be 1 less speed for 1 turn. Close. Let's see, what do we need to hit? We needed a 7, so we got 1 hit, which is Restless Shank. Something happens if it gets wounded. Again, I hit on a 4 and crit on a 10. We got a 6, so that's 1 hit. And we did not crit, and there's a reaction if I wounded, which I did. Roll 1d10 for each survivor currently in the monster's blind spot. Nobody's in the blind spot, so we're okay. All right, so that's the end of this turn. That was pretty good. Got some good hits. No, unfortunately, no perfect 10, but and that's why I gave 2 hammers, because you figure if you're rolling 6 dice, the odds of one of them being a 1 out of 10 is decent chance, right? It's kind of like 1 in 5. Well, because you would get it 1 out of 10 times, and it rolls 6 times, so I go through half the possibility. So it's kind of like a little better than 50% chance. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna have these 2 attack because this guy can move. I think I'm gonna do cumbersome first. That way, in case he moves, the other people can react and dash and hit. So I'll do Eve next, and let me look up when I have to declare to use her ability of Lucerne. Because I know I can do the ability, I just don't remember when I can declare it. Do I have to do it at the beginning of the attack? Or can I do it after the hit? Let me look that up real quick. It's the ability of the Savior. Before making a wound attempt, I can declare Lucerne X to gain X additional luck. Okay. Alrighty. So we can go ahead and do the attack. So we're going to attack. Her attack is speed 2, accuracy 6. But I could also instead do the claw head arrow so that everyone has an easier chance of hitting. And actually has more strength than the bone club. I think I'll do that first. I'll use the claw head arrow and use my bow in close. Yeah, just so I help everyone out for the rest of the round. So I'll roll 1 dice, and its accuracy is a 6. Fuck! I missed. Got a 5, so that missed. And that was spent. I can only use that once per round. Okay? And that's cumbersome. So I'll just stay put. Next up, I'll do the spear, which has range 2, so I can attack someone 2 squares away. The attack on this is 3 dice, hit on 6. We got a 6, a 10, and a 9. Do we have anything here that procs on natural 10? We do not. But we got 3 hits. So we got Giant Teeth, Restless Flank, and Restless Back. Restless Flank has a reflex, so we'll do that last. Alright, and I want to get the resources, so I'll do that first. So I'll do it in this order. Teeth, then back, and then flank. Alright, so she has a 6 plus 1. I'm sorry. 3 plus 1 is 4, so hit on a 4, and she has 2 luck. So crits on an 8, and hits on a 4. We got a 9, so that's a critical hit. So that's 1 wound. And then the critical effect, gain 1 Screaming Antelope resource. Very nice. And we got beef steak. Okay, now she keeps going. Rolled a 7, which is not a crit, but that's a hit. So it's another AI card. And nothing happens. There's no reaction. Last one, hit on a 4, crit on an 8. We got a 5, so that's another hit. We did massive damage already. Massive. He's only got 4 hit points left. Man, this is massive. And then there's reflex. The monster turns to face the attacker. Which he already is. Okay. Wow, we've done massive damage already. Holy shit. We've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Wow, that is crazy. Oh yeah, because those 3 attacks. 1 damage, 2 damage, and then 3 damage. Crazy. Already took off half its hit points. Wow. Alright, and then let's see, is anyone proficient? Eve missed with the bow. Adam hit, but he's not proficient. Not proficient, so it doesn't matter. I'm using this to mark if people earn weapon proficiency, but you have to have specialization first, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so now I got 1 person left, which is Samantha, who's got the pounce, the ability to pounce. She's just gonna do a regular move, I think. I mean, I could, yeah, because she's only got 3 survival. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. To hit. Her speed is 5. And and she hits on a 4. 5 dice. Hits on a 4. Miss, We got 2 hits. We got a 5 and 8. So we got Wailing Slide and Delicate Inverted Knee. Wailing Slide is a trap, so that cancels everything else, and we do this, and then we shuffle the deck. The Screaming Antelope panics, its undermouth unleashing an inhuman wail. It bucks wildly and leaps into the air. The attacker is doomed, meaning they can't spend survival. For this attack, all survivors adjacent to the monster suffer 2 brain damage. And then other stuff happens. So everybody adjacent. The people who are adjacent or are orthogonal by 1 space. So these 3 will get 2 brain damage. So that is Adam, who goes from 5 to 3. And then we have Samantha, who goes from 5 to 3. And then we have Eve, who goes from 6 to 4. And then they suffer knockback 5. And I read the rules. I kind of did this wrong before, but that's okay. Knockback doesn't mean that they're knocked down. It just means that they're knocked back. You only get knocked down if you're bashed. Or if you collide. Because then it's like you crash into each other. So they get knocked back 5. It's like the scream pushes them back. Kind of like a Black Canary thing. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I have to see, because in this case I would collide with the wall. In that case I may be knocked down, so I'm going to check the ruling on that. Because if you're pushed back and you hit something, then it's collision. So I believe that is knocked down in this case. But I don't take damage because it's not trample. Because it's not if I collide with the wall, it's if the monster collides with me. I'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Pretty sure. Oh no, she doesn't get knocked back because she's too far away. He gets knocked back. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we don't need these anymore. The only one I need is toppled pillar. Okay, let me check that rolling right quick. Because I believe that's the definition of collision, is if you're pushed into an occupied space or the wall. Let me check. So I'm looking up the word collision. Collides. When a monster suffers collision, they are knocked down. Okay, but what if you collide into the wall? Yeah, you suffer collision. Yep. Okay. So everyone is pushed back, but because she hits the wall, she's knocked down. Okay? And then it continues. The monster lands on its belly and begins to slide on its teeth. Turn the monster directly away from the attacker and full move forward in a straight line. This was the attacker, so we're going to turn this direction and then full move forward in a straight line. And its movement now is 5 instead of 6 because he's got -1 movement token. And check. Movement 5. Yep. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fortunately, that's barely too far away, so there's no trample, which is awesome. And there's no collision. But now I reshuffle this entire hit deck with the trap. Okay. And all of this was still during my turn. And well, that officially ends the attack though. Too far away. So this is a bad position because now we have people that are isolated. So like we were doing really good. We already did half damage, more than half damage to the monster, but this could be bad, especially if someone's isolated and then he pulls out an A card. Could be bad. I do have people with a lot of survival though, so I'm in a good spot. And 3 of 4 people have decent armor, so not terrible. But man, we had an explosive opening. We get lucky on not getting a trap card earlier. That was pretty good. Alright, so head deck is completed. Now that's the end of our turn. Now it's the monster's turn. So you know, so for the wounds, we've done 6 damage. So the monster has 4 AI cards left, if I recall. And then if you do a damage when there's no more AI cards in the deck, it dies. So it's got 5 more hit points. So that's pretty good for one salvo, actually. That's really good. But again, we got lucky, because if we got a trap card earlier, the monster would have moved, then everybody would have been out of position. Of course, they still could have moved and attacked. I just sat there and attacked. Anywho. Oh, that's right, and she, wait a minute. Yeah. Everybody attacked. Okay. So now it's the monster's go. Emily is going to be the new monster controller, who's the spear person. So we got Gore. Full move in the direction the monster is facing, and turn to face closest survivor. So this is even before we pick target and do stuff. So it's going to actually move twice. It's going to full move in the direction and gore my person. And this says, when the monster collides with the survivor, they suffer damage equal to the monster's level. And now let me look again in collision if that by default also does knockback, or if it just does knockdown. Let me check that again. So before I looked up collide, now I'm looking up collision. When they suffer collision, they're knocked down. So I'm not knocked back, I'm knocked down, and I take 1 damage. So Adam's knocked down, but because it's knocked down this round, I'm going to put 2, meaning survivors are knocked down until the end of the monster's next turn. So she's going to get up, but he's going to still be down when it's our turn. So to flag that, I'm just going to put an extra endeavor, just to show that it's got to be 2 turns that he's knocked down. And then he takes 1 damage because of trample, which is the chest. He's got nothing at chest, but we'll just take it. So that's 1 damage to chest. And then full move in the direction the monster is facing and turn to face the closest survivor. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he gored me, trampled, and now it's facing. And now it does more stuff. This is probably powerful just for a B level card. Pick target. A random survivor that's in range. There's only 1 survivor in range. Speed 1, accuracy 2. So now it's going to move close and attack. First it trampled, gored me, knocked me down, and that's going to go. Looks like Gormy again. Alright, so it's speed 1, accuracy 2, but he's got 3 evasion, so that means you add it to the accuracy, so it has to roll, it hits on a 5+. We got a 9, so that is a hit, which is going to hit the hand for 1 damage. So I'll take that. And then I'm knocked down, but I'm already knocked down, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so that's that attack. Now it's back to us. So now I remove, how I'm tracking this, now I remove a knockdown token on everybody. So she gets up, but he's still knocked down. Cool way to keep track of it, huh? It makes life easier, because there's so many things to track and so many stats and crap everywhere that I do little nuances to make it easier. And that's one of the reasons why I do milestones when they happen. I know I've said this a bazillion times in my other videos for this campaign, just because it makes it easier to track. When something happens, share the fun story as it happens, or the reward as it happens. It's fine. That way you don't have to track it. Alright, so now it's our turn. He's knocked down, but I could have somebody encourage so he can get up and attack since he's in range. That wouldn't be a bad idea, actually. Especially someone that can regenerate. So this guy can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but he's got cumbersome weapons, so that's stupid. So what that means is I might as well go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here. And then as an action, spend a survival to encourage him, because when she spends survival, she can potentially get it back. Do the set bonus of the rawhide set. 6 or better. 8, so see, I got it back. It was a free action. So as an action, well, no, I'm going to spend survival. It's not an action, it's a survival. I'm going to spend a survival to pick him up. And then I'm going to spend an action to do a rawhide headband to look at the top 2 AI cards and see which ones we should get rid of. So we got Bolt and Stomp and Snort. So I don't want people to suffer any more brain damage. So I'm gonna have Stomp and Snort be at the top, thinking that I'm gonna at least do 1 damage to the monster. Okay? Cool. Next up, we got her. She can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then I can also have dash. And I could also do a slam to move 4 spaces. So I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a dash, and then do a slam action. Then do a slam movement to give the monster knockback 1 and then -1 toughness. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So she's going to spend 1 survival. I think I forgot to move that again. Oh wait, yeah, so he was target, so he also gains insanity. So he goes from 3 to 4. I don't think I moved it. Okay, so she's going to spend a survival, so she goes from 5 to 4. So she's going to dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a dash. And then she's going to do a slam, which is a move that you move only 4. Okay. And then stop adjacent to a monster. If I moved 4 or more spaces and stopped adjacent to the monster, it suffers knockback 1 and -1 toughness until the end of the round. Do I have a toughness token over here? So it's getting -1 toughness for just till the end of the round, meaning it's easier to wound. And it gets knocked back 1, so it gets moved 1 space over there. Which is fine, because I have a ranged weapon to hit. Right? So now she's going to attack, and her attack is 3 dice, hits on 6. We got a 9, a 6, and a 4. We hit on 6, we got 2 hits. We got Restless Back and Restless Hoof. We're gonna do let's see. We're gonna do Restless Hoof first, just so we have a chance of getting a Screaming Antelope resource. So we'll do that first. Of course, that's all has a consequence. That would be stupid. Like, I'm gonna do that regardless. All right, so we'll do the back first because there's no consequence. All right, so to hit, the wound, my strength is 3 plus 1 strength plus another 1 because the toughness is -1. So it's 3 plus 1 plus 1 is 5, and 8 minus 5 is 3. So I hit on a 3, and I crit on an 8 because Emily's luck is 2. Hit on a 3 and crit on an 8. I rolled a 9, so that's a critical hit. So we got 1 wound. And then the critical hit on the Restless Back. Persistent injury, crushed spine. Your strike lands squarely on the monster's squirming spine, accompanied by a sickening crunch, which affects some AI cards. Meaning, if there's an AI card with this persistent injury, then it alters the attack that the monster could do. Meaning that it's like compromised. Okay, so that stays out. Next we roll for the Restless Hoof. Hit on 3, crit on 8. We got an 8. Critical hits. So we got another wound. And then critical wound on Restless Hoof. It says gain 1 Screaming Antelope resource, and it cancels the failure. We got a pelt, which is great. Man, she's doing pretty good. And then it also says persistent injury, destroyed hoof. The Screaming Antelope's hoof is ruined, which also affects some AI cards. We are ruining this monster. Okay, so the monster has 3 hit points left. We're doing great. But we're also doing great because we're only seeing B cards. If we start seeing like A cards that had traps, it'd be a whole different experience because you see everyone spread out, which is bad. Why it's bad? Because that means that during your round, you're maybe only attacking with 1 person instead of all 4. So I got lucky that it was a B followed by weak cards after. So that's yeah. Okay. So she can't do anything, so she might as well do something supportive. This being Samantha. So she can't do Boss Mindy because she's too far away. So I'll just have her move to get a little bit closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing else she can do. She's got bandaging. That's all she can do. She could spend survival to do stuff, but there's nothing she can do other than courage. Everybody's already up. So I guess knowing that, maybe I should have her go last. That way, in case one of these people gets knocked down by the antelope, she can pick him up. That would be a good idea, actually. She'll go last. That is actually a good idea. All right, so we'll have Adam go next. I'll go ahead and attack from behind. That way, if I trigger the trap, instead the monster will run this way. Let's see if I have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do. I have enough. And by attacking from behind, I get +1 to accuracy. Yeah, but it's weird to say +1 to accuracy because it's when you increase the accuracy, it decreases the number on the weapon. So that's kind of weird talk. It's kind of like Twilight Imperium where they said increase and use a negative number, which is better. It's sort of that same problem. Because if you have accuracy on a weapon with a smaller number, then it's easier to roll that number because you have to have the number beat it. But anyway, nomenclature. Okay, so anyway, he is going to attack. So that's 3 dice, and because I'm behind, it hits on a 6 instead of a 7. And remember, he also has skullcap hammers that can actually attack twice. So this could very well end the fight. This could be the shortest showdown this campaign, potentially. So we did roll Natural Lantern. So that means we got a perfect hit. The monster is dazed and gets a -1 speed token until the end of its turn. So now we gotta look for a speed token. So now it gets -1 speed. So the -1 toughness will get removed at the end of this round, but the -1 speed will last until the end of the monster's next turn. Cool. So, okay, more importantly, we hit on a 6, so we only got 1 hit. Because we get the lantern. So we got Furry Throat. You get a bonus if you're using a club, which I am, which adds to luck, which is awesome, because I like farming, and I get a critical wound. I get a resource if I critically hit. Okay, so to hit, my strength is a 4, +1 because of the toughness being weaker is a 5. So I hit on a 3, and I crit on an 8 because that's 2 luck. Hit on 3, crit on 8. Fuck. Well, that's a 6. It's still good. So we got rid of another AI card. So he's got 2 hit points left and 1 AI card left. And we did not crit. But now we do his other attack. So that was 1 attack with 1 hammer. Now we do the other hammer. 3 dice. And that's why I wanted to get the blood paint, since I knew paint and I had the stone circle, because it just makes this so awesome. Not only because you get so many chances to hit, but you also have so many chances to actually to apply that -1 speed token, which is amazing. Like, I'm seeing so many combos now, looking at through how do I weaken and strengthen the team instead of just an individual attack, than the last time I did a campaign for this. It's just like, oh man, it's such a great combo. Okay, so we hit on a 6 still. So we got another Natural Lantern. But you can only, I believe, have 1 -speed token per round. You can only be dazed once per round. So I got Natural Lantern, but he doesn't get 2 -1 speed tokens. But I do still get a hit. And I got Giant Tongue. -2 toughness to wound dislocation. So that's practically a guaranteed hit. Because strength is a 3, +1, +1 is a 5, 6, 7. So I have to roll a 1 or better. And you always roll a 1. So it's a guaranteed hit. I'm just rolling the crit. And the crit is a 0. Luck is a 0. So it's a guaranteed hit. But if I roll a 10, it's a crit. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Natural Lantern. That's a critical hit. So we wounded. So he lost the last AI card. So now the only thing the monster can do is basic attack. It is... Man, this showdown is over. It is screwed. Because that's a really weak attack. Super weak. It's even weaker than a B. I would call like a C level AI card. Fantastic. So we did the damage. Now we got critical wound, which is gain 1 Screaming Antelope resource. Fantastic. We got Shank Bone, which is cool. That means we got 1 of everything we need to innovate. We got a hide, a bone, and an organ. Fantastic. That's actually really great. And we still haven't looted the main resources, so that is awesome. This was such a great addition. That added so much DPS while also protecting my team, because now I have -1 speed. Fantastic. Great. So no one's knocked down, so now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'll be the end of her turn. All right. So now it is the monster's turn. The monster, all it can do is a basic attack. So this is the profile. As you can see, not much to it, if it ever focuses. If not, it's okay, I can read it. But you see, like, there's not much on there. So pick the target, the closest knockdown survivor in range, which is nobody. So if there's no target, it's going to graze. The monster full moves to the closest Acanthus plant and its turn. If there are no Acanthus plants on the Showdown board, instead full move forward in a straight line. So now I'm just trying to get away. The basic action, I didn't realize that. Only because I've never hardly ever seen a basic action. It's always AI cards that triggered. Is it will only attack if you're on the ground to run over you. Otherwise, it just runs away. So it's going to do a full move, but its movement is -1. So it loses its toughness, of course. But its movement is still -1. So it goes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to say, man, this Showdown has been pretty breezy. So that's, man, we got lucky on not getting any A-level cards. We got lucky on not getting a trap after doing massive amount of damage. And we got lucky that on the ambush that he was just eating the whole time and ate all of the bonus life he could have gained. We just got lucky on this. All right, so he did his move. Now it's our turn. So all we have to do is do 1 damage and we win. Which is fantastic. And we already got 4 resources by carving, which is cool. Alright, so we only... Nobody was a target. That was Eve. Okay, so now we just need to do 1 damage. Again, no one has a weapon proficiency. Well, actually, Eve does. Eve needs to do 1 damage to start leveling because you can only gain weapon proficiency if you at least wound with the bow. And she wants to level the bow. Or do I want... Yeah, because he can level the club, so she might as well level the bow. That way, if you get high enough and people don't die, I can then share it with the civilization by doing one of the things I added to my custom campaign. Is the shadow ritual that you can endeavor to make someone get a disorder and skip the next hunt in order to share a fighting art, secret fighting art. I count fighting art as also secret fighting art, for the record. Even though, game wise they're treated differently for sharing. Okay. What am I doing? So, okay, so I want to hit with Eve, and I want to use the bow. So, I'm going to dash. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to roll to see if I did it for free. It's a 9, so it's free. And now I'm going to do the cumbersome attack, which takes a move and an action, to shoot with the bow. And the reason why I want to get in its butt is because then I have better accuracy. So I'm using the bow. That's 2 dice. Accuracy 7, so it hits on a 6. Because it's +1. So I got a 9 and a 10. So that's 2 hits. So we got Restless Flank and Restless Muzzle. I'll do the flank last. Or maybe I want to do it first because I can get a resource. Shit, I'll do it first. Just because there's a chance of getting a resource. Its reflex would just be a turn anyway. And actually, because I really want the resource, I could use her ability to add the luck. I may do that. Might do that. Her luck's already a 3. So it means I'll crit on a 7+. But I could also make it, I can make it lowered so I can get another resource. I could do that. That would be fun. Might do that. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Before the wound attempt. So I can only do Lucerne for the number of blue squares. Because she's a savior of the crown, she by default counts as having 1 blue square in the grid. So she has 1, 2. So she's got 2 squares. So I'll do Lucerne 2. meaning I add 2 to my luck. So now my luck is 5. So now I crit on a 5 or better. We'll do it. And then she gains hunt experience equal to the X. So now she goes from hunt experience 2 to hunt experience 4. Okay? And then we add 2 to our luck, so we crit on a 5, and then we'll hit on a, what's the hit? 3 plus 1 is 4. So it looks like I hit on a 4 and I crit on a 5. All right, here we go. God fucking damn it. Ah. We missed. That's a 3. Didn't get a 4, didn't get a 5. All right, so that's a miss. And it has reflex. First, it turns to face the attacker. Damn, did not get that resource. That's okay. But let's seal the deal if possible. Now my question is, when I add the X, is that for the rest of the round? Or is that just for that one wound attempt? Let me check that. Because this is my first time using the Savior's ability. But that was good because I really wanted to get a resource for free. So that was worth it in my opinion. It says you add to the wound attempt. But does a wound attempt count as like a phase, or is it per each card? That's what I don't know. So let me go back to the Showdown and see if that provides some context there. As far as what counts as the wound attempt. That's what I mean. Monster's attack, yes I know. How survivor's attack? It looks like just for 1. Okay. That's how I'll play it anyway. Alright, so I'm not going to add more because this, I don't think I get a resource, so there's no point in making it better. So we'll roll for this. So I crit on a 7 and hit on a 4. What did I say? Crit on a 7. So we got a critical hit. So we killed the monster because we rolled an 8. But let's see what the critical win says. On the restless muzzle. Come on. Let's go, I'll read it to you. You shock the beast with a blow to the face. So I concave the monster's face. Okay. The monster is knocked down. Yeah, and its face is turned into roast beef. While monster is knocked down, all reactions are canceled and all hit rolls succeed on a 3+. But it's also dead. I smashed his face in. Cool, we did it. That was pretty uneventful as far as attacks. I don't think we took any damage at all. Oh no. Someone took a little bit of damage. Yeah, Adam took 1 hit to arm and 1 to body. Super lucky. Like if that was, let's say the same AI card and it was a level 2, it would be 2 attacks with double damage. So he would probably be dead. And that's the difference between like a level 2 and level 1 right there. Is I have the offense for sure, but I don't have defense. Because you can only spend survival once. So that means she would still take massive damage and either be knocked down or get a severe injury. So, cool, we did it. Good stuff. So, the monster's dead. So now I'll go to the results. The aftermath, I should say. That's what it's called. All right. So now we do the rewards and then the consequences of the antelope dying. So first off, everyone gets 1 hunt experience, but Eve gets 2 because she's a savior. All right. So Adam gets 1 hunt experience. Eve gets 2 hunt experience, which is great because that means she also triggers age 2, which means she gets Lucerne's lantern and a bonus something on table. So we'll do that in a sec, but she'll get both of those. Emily goes to 2 hunt experience and triggers age 1. We'll do that. And Samantha gets 1 hunt experience. So we got an age 1 and an age 2. So I'll do Emily first, since she's the younger age. And it's a little less exciting. I mean, it's still exciting, because you get special eyes and good stuff. Okay, so now I'm looking up age in the book. And this, for example, is one of the things that you would typically do during the milestone during the summit phase. But I do it now just because it's fun, because you just got something, and also so I don't have to track it. Because otherwise I have to track that I went up a hunt experience, and then of course and then you'd be like, oh, did I already do that milestone? Yes or no? I don't know. So anyway, blah. 107. Okay, so I'll show you the picture again, because you haven't seen it in a while, or if this is your first time watching, so you can see it. That's the art. And then here's the stuff. Basically, I roll on different tables depending on what age that character is. So age, your time in the darkness changes you. Gain the benefits of the hunt experience milestone you have reached. A survivor may only gain each milestone once in a lifetime. So the first thing you do at age 1 is gain a weapon proficiency. So, Emily is going to learn, I might as well stick with what you're doing, right? I'm going to have her learn the spear. Okay? And now, since she didn't have weapon proficiency when she entered the aftermath, she won't gain a point. Because it's sort of like, you decide what you want to specialize in, and then you practice doing it. Okay, so she learned spear, and then I roll 2d10 to see what other bonus things she gets. Four and a 6, so that's 10. Which is gain 1 random fighting art. Cool. I should have predicted that may happen. Let me shuffle the fighting art deck right quick. All right, she gets Timeless Eye. I don't think I've seen this one before. And I'll show you the pic, and then I'll read it. There we go. Timeless Eye. Your attack roll is a perfect hit on a 9 or a 10. Wow, this is fantastic. And you cannot use Timeless Eye if you have blind severe head injury. It's sort of like you stare down your enemy. So the reason why I say this is fantastic is because if you had any things that trigger on perfect hits, now it's easier to trigger. Like, for example, the Skull Cap Hammer. You need to have perfect hit to daze. If I share this with my Shadow Ritual to him, then that means these will hit on a 9 instead of a 10. A 9 or better. So you have a better chance to daze. That is awesome. It's pretty cool. Now, I don't think I would necessarily share it, only because no one else has anything yet that could benefit from having perfect eye, Timeless Eye. But it's a great ability. That is pretty good. Because sometimes even the enemies have stuff that happen when you do a perfect hit. So, who knows? Alright, so I'm just recording this on Fighting Arts. So right now she knows Red Fist and Timeless Eye. Timeless Eye. I'll just say perfect hit on 9+. There we go. Okay, so that's her age bonus. Now we'll do age 2 for Eve. And I'll do the age 2 stuff, and then I'll read what also happens when she reaches age 2. This is the first character to reach age 2. Alright, so age 2, improved reflexes. The years sharpen your reflexes. Roll on the table below. Again, it's 2d10. We rolled a 6 and a 2, so that's an 8. Right, an 8 is gain 1 permanent strength. So strength is now +1, which is great because these weapons are weapons that the arrow, I mean, also is rocking monster tooth, so it's easier to hit. So it's basically having it so if someone has really toughness, then it won't matter. As you saw when Eve rolled before, even with the bow, it was so high that there was no way to stop it. 3 + 1 + 1, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so +1 strength, and then also gets the age 2 for Savior, which is, I believe it's just getting that, but let me check. Alright, so I'll show you the Savior stuff again to know what the hell I'm talking about. Because on Birth, here's the picture for Birth of a Savior. But for the Savior, I'm looking at the right-hand side, Dream of the Lantern. With the ability at the bottom, when you trigger age 2, gain the Lacerne's Lantern Secret Fighting Art. Okay, so that's what we get. And what that is, it's a Secret Fighting Art. Which I can spend an action to just concentrate and do nothing. And then at the start of my next act, whenever that is, I would do the lantern. So it's like I go into this dream state, and then afterwards, I can trigger this stuff. So what's interesting about this is it doesn't even count as an actual like battle when I trigger it. It's just like when I wake up, the stuff happens to the monster. Just happens. You reveal hit locations, and then if any of them crit, it's an automatic critical wound. And you ignore traps. That's pretty crazy. It's like you assault him in this dream. That's pretty cool. And also, because I'm playing with Shadow Ritual, and I included Secret Fighting Arts, is I could Shadow Ritual this to give this to other characters. This is one I would share, for sure. And you could argue the addition that, you know, I'm breaking some mechanics because I'm doing milestones as a trigger, but I just find it more fun, and so I don't have to track, and you're excited that something happened, you know? And you could argue that the fact that I'm doing the traits of light, balance, and dark, as well as Shadow Ritual for my Ismortah religion, for my Showdown settlement, that it plays an advantage, but I kind of don't care because I wanted to add something thematic to make playing the campaign this time different. And also, just it's fun to have little perks and characters. That way they're not like, you know, and you're adding like another thing going on in the settlement. The fact that there's this religion on top of you're trying to advance as a culture, you know. So I find it fun, and I'm playing for fun, you know. So there you go. Okay, so she got +1 strength and Lacerne's lantern. So that was hunt experience. Now we do weapon proficiency, but no one had a specialization going into the hunt other than Eve, who did hit with the bow. So I take that back. She did hit with the bow, so she gets 1 in proficiency. No one else had a proficiency going into the aftermath. And now we do rewards. So the first thing during the rewards is when the Screaming Antelope dies, it lets out this horrible wail, and anybody with 20 plus insanity goes completely insane and runs into the darkness. Fortunately, no one is super insane. Emily, though, is kind of close. We have 4, 4, 3, but Emily's at 10, but no one's at 20, so that's good. So now we just do the rewards. So we get 4 basic and 4 Screaming Antelope. All right, we did it, though. All right, so I'll do the good stuff first. So we get 4 of these. The good stuff. I say good stuff. What I mean is like getting specialty piece resources. Like really, it's all about quantity, because if you get more of something, you have higher odds of getting something that you need. All right, so we got beefsteak, shank bone, spiral horn, and muscly gums. So we got 2 bones and 2 organs. And I'll show you all the loots up close after the reveal, so don't worry about it. I'll show you 2 in close. Now we get 4 basic as well. And so see, the advantage of doing higher level monsters is you get more loots, but there's also more risk. So it's all based on how much you want to risk. And honestly, I thought about doing level 2, but I was worried about not having a complete set of armor to get the bonus, or some armor on like 3 of 4 or 4 of 4, just because if you don't stop a speed, you could get hit really hard. And that's also not taking into account that you'll have half the deck being A-level cards, so always be something horrible than what I'm normally seeing as far as power level of the AI cards being played against me. Anywho, that's my strategy behind it. So we got 4. So we got a monster hide, a monster organ, love juice, which is amazing because that can trigger intimacy. We're totally going to do that because we need more people in our population, and monster bone. So we didn't get many hides, which sucks, but we got enough hides that we could still make the last piece of the set, and we could still innovate. So that's good. All right, so I'll show you now all the loots that we got, and then that will be the end of the stream. The beginning of the next stream, which is the beginning of the settlement phase, you'll see what happens when the survivors return, and then story stuff, and then endeavoring and developing. All right, so in total we got 12 resources. Let me see if I have some sort of organization to the madness. Because we got a couple like things. All right. See if I can just organize this by type of thing. Or because typically when you use resources, it's hide, bone, or organ. But then there's also making certain things that you need it to be a particular item that it says on the title, like if it was a pelt or if it was a spiral horn, that you need to have that in particular. Okay, cool. So this is what we got. We got 12 resources. We got monster organ, love juice, which I'll definitely use for triggering intimacy because you don't have to roll for it. Muscly gums. And you see a lot of these, there's also flavor text in the bottom as well. Beef steak, a couple of those. Monster bone, a couple of those. Oh, one of those, sorry. Spiral Horn. Shank Bone. We got a couple of those. Monster Hide. Pelt. Again, see, they're both hides, but pelt you need in particular to have to be as a component we're making Scream and Armor set, for example. And Broken Lantern. Cool. That was pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, I think that's it. So we did Aftermath. Everyone got experience. We got rewards. We came out basically unscathed fighting this guy, which is great, considering we had so many people die already in the settlement. So, you know, the universe balances out, I suppose. And it's all part of the balance, and that's what Ismortah religion believes in. The light and the dark. Haha. Cool, cool. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. This is the end of the stream. Next stream will be Lantern Year 9, the settlement phase. Let's see what the settlement has to endure this time around. Well, thanks for watching. Again, this is Ismortah, and I'll catch you next time. Kingdom Death Monster.